There's a company you think you know, but the truth is far stranger than anyone realizes. It doesn't just operate in the shadows of the financial world, it owns more than most countries combined. $10 trillion in assets, stakes in hundreds of major companies, yet most people have never even heard its name. If you own stocks, you might think you're in control. You're not. Every share you hold, every investment you make is quietly influenced by decisions made in rooms you'll never see. You are, in essence, a bystander in a game far bigger than yourself. It's not a bank, it's not a traditional company, it's something else entirely, a quiet empire, invisible yet all-encompassing, shaping industries, shaping wealth, shaping lives, without most people ever realizing it. And right now, it's time to see just how deep its reach goes. BlackRock was founded in 1988, a relatively small firm with a simple mission: manage assets for clients. But what started as a quiet asset manager quickly transformed into something unimaginable. Year after year, its growth was exponential until it reached a scale few could comprehend. Today, it manages assets larger than the GDP of most countries. Unlike a bank which lends money or takes deposits, BlackRock's power comes from ownership and influence. It doesn't just hold investments, it controls the votes, the decisions, the very direction of entire industries. Every policy, every merger, every strategic move of the companies it touches can be shaped by its choices. And yet the world remains largely unaware. Most Americans never pause to consider that a single firm could quietly influence the economy they live in. But the truth is chilling. Unseen, almost invisible, BlackRock has a grip on the threads that weave together the financial fabric of the United States. And once you understand that, nothing about the markets will ever feel the same again. BlackRock doesn't just invest in a few companies here and there. Its reach spans the globe, touching technology, energy, banking, pharmaceuticals, consumer goods, every sector you can think of. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. BlackRock is often the largest shareholder, quietly holding the power to sway decisions that affect millions of lives. But ownership alone isn't the full story. Through proxy voting, BlackRock casts votes on behalf of shareholders, shaping corporate policies without most people even noticing. They don't need to make headlines. Their influence is silent but absolute. Every strategic decision, every CEO appointment, every shareholder vote can be nudged in the direction they choose. And yet, if you own stocks in these companies, you have no real control. You're just a bystander, watching a system that is quietly guided by invisible hands. Ownership without control is a haunting reality, one that most investors never fully grasp until it's too late. To understand BlackRock's power, you need to look at history. Think of Standard Oil, J.P. Morgan, I.G. Farben, empires that once dominated industries and shaped entire economies. Those giants were powerful, but they were visible, vulnerable, and eventually dismantled. BlackRock, however, operates differently. It's legal, diversified, and nearly invisible. There are no sensational headlines of monopolistic practices, no courtroom battles shaking its foundation. Its structure is bulletproof, designed to blend seamlessly into the global financial landscape. The real twist: unlike past monopolies that crumbled under scrutiny, BlackRock quietly wields influence across sectors, shaping policies, markets, and even the economy itself, without ever being stopped. It's a form of control that is both subtle and absolute, an invisible empire where the rules of the past no longer apply. BlackRock doesn't just own shares, it concentrates them across industries in a way that few truly grasp. From energy to tech, its holdings are meticulously spread, giving it influence far beyond what the surface numbers suggest. And then there's proxy voting, the hidden lever of corporate power. BlackRock doesn't just hold stocks, it casts votes on behalf of millions of shareholders, deciding who leads companies and what policies take precedence.
Consider Exxon, where a proxy fight or a simple letter from BlackRock's CEO can sway decisions on climate strategies. Across hundreds of companies, one voice, one preference subtly nudges policies on diversity, sustainability, and executive pay. The emotional truth hits hard. Even if you own shares, the direction of your investments is being quietly steered by someone else. You're not in control. You're merely a bystander in a system designed to move as one colossal entity. At the heart of BlackRock's empire lies Aladdin, a sophisticated software system managing over $21 trillion in assets. It's more than a tool, it's the nervous system of global finance, monitoring risks, orchestrating trades, and silently guiding markets. The algorithms behind Aladdin are proprietary, shrouded in secrecy, yet their influence stretches from Wall Street to Main Street, shaping investments, prices, and economic stability in ways most will never see. Every decision, every adjustment ripples through industries, sometimes imperceptibly, sometimes with enormous impact. A single miscalculation, a system failure, or an unforeseen market shock could cascade, sending tremors across the financial world. Aladdin is power and danger wrapped in lines of code, an invisible hand capable of moving markets, yet almost no one outside BlackRock fully understands its reach. The suspense is undeniable. The system that controls trillions could, in an instant, become the system that shakes the world. BlackRock's influence doesn't stop at corporate doors. It extends deep into the corridors of government. Contracts with federal agencies, advisory roles, and a roving door of officials create a network where policy and profit intertwine. During the COVID crisis, the Federal Reserve didn't just consult BlackRock, they relied on it, handing over vast responsibilities to a private company with its own interests. Beyond contracts, BlackRock wields a silent power through information. Its data analytics and market insights give it knowledge that reaches far before the public or even other investors can react. In this world, timing is everything, and BlackRock always seems a step ahead. It's an invisible edge, legal but almost unfair, shaping markets without the world even noticing. For the average investor, this is unsettling. Decisions made in quiet boardrooms can ripple across the economy, often before anyone outside can even blink. The impact of BlackRock's empire stretches far beyond spreadsheets and boardrooms. At the top, the CEO and shareholders reap enormous profits, their wealth swelling quietly yet relentlessly. Institutional investors see gains that feel almost invisible yet undeniable. But at the bottom, the story is different. Consumers face higher prices for everyday goods, small businesses struggle to compete under the shadow of giants, and workers find wages stagnating while corporate profits soar. Common ownership across industries doesn't just consolidate wealth, it reshapes markets. Competition erodes, choices shrink, and the ordinary person feels the weight without ever realizing why. It's a system designed to look like normal business, yet the consequences touch every corner of society. And in this subtle imbalance, the lines between fairness and monopoly blur, leaving most of us as bystanders in a game we don't even know we're playing. Looking ahead, the trends only deepen the concentration of power. Passive investing grows, with index funds quietly dominating more and more of the market, their influence spreading like an invisible web. By 2030, it's possible that nearly 70% of U.S. equity assets could be under the control of just the big three: BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Their reach isn't limited to stocks anymore. Private markets, infrastructure, real estate, they're all within their grasp, slowly turning an asset manager into a full-blown economic empire. What was once a financial tool for investors has evolved into a force capable of shaping entire industries, entire economies. Every decision they make ripples outward, altering markets and lives before most even realize it. And yet, for the average person, it all happens quietly, invisibly, like a current beneath the surface that no one can see until it's too late. When you step back and look at it all, BlackRock isn't breaking any laws. It's legal, sophisticated, and almost invisible in its reach. Yet the reality is stark. A single entity, through ownership, voting power, technology, and influence, shapes markets, policies, and even the future of entire industries. The choice for you as an observer or participant is clear. You can accept it, stay invested, and watch quietly. You can divest, reclaim some control over your own assets, or you can push, demand reforms, and challenge the invisible structures that concentrate power in the hands of a few. Once you see the system, there's no going back. The moment of awareness changes everything, and the choice of what to do next is yours.